Hey there! We're going to talk about Phase 3 in our reflection on everything we covered this semester. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Mr. Toad, and today I have my two good friends, Mr. Turtle.
Mrs. Turtle.
Sorry, Mrs. Turtle, and Miss Queen Bee.
Ugh, it's too early. I had my coffee.
Let's get started. Let's talk about, at the beginning of the semester, our classmates. What did you think, Miss Turtle?
Oh, I really liked seeing all of our classmates again, and it was great to meet new people too. I liked meeting our teachers. Jill and Yanka, they were both very different, but I don't know, I liked them. Me too.
I liked how we had every class with all our classmates, each Monday and Wednesday. I felt we grew closer together that way. It was nice bonding time.
And we could learn together and learn from each other too. And if we needed help on an assignment, we knew exactly who to go to.
Inquiry learning. Wow. Was that new to me or what?
Very new. I really liked learning about inquiry. In the beginning, I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I started getting the feeling after we did all those fun activities in science and math. Do you remember any of them? I remember the bear activity, where we all had to find food in order to live, but I also remembered I died.
Oh yeah, we all had to get 80 pounds of food in order to survive, and anyone who didn't died. How sad. And then there was the mother bear. I think,
That was that!
Oh yes, that was a mom.
Yeah, and then, like at the end, then we talked all about the activity, and I really understood how it would be a good way for kids to learn after they had some hands-on experience with the information. Yeah, like they didn't teach it to us. We found it out ourselves, and that was pretty cool. Just like when Yanka had the marble in the bottle, and we had to get the marble out. Oh, I remember that. No, it was a corkscrew. Oh yeah, the marble. Oh no, wait, corkscrew. Well, I remember what we learned about though. We learned about friction. Oh yeah. And after we did the activity and we all got our marbles and corkscrews out, we watched that video. Greg, do you remember? I mean, Mr. Toad.
Yes, how could I forget? That problem-based. Wow, that was so new to me. I didn't know where to start or what to think. But
it was so different from our last semester when we learned about pre-teaching vocabulary. I thought I was going to be really confused. I understand what you're saying, but I think we learned that we can still teach vocabulary, but maybe after the children get to do some exploring, it might be more meaningful. Yeah, I think that's right too.
having the kids be their own scientists is a great way to teach. They get to come up with their own problems, solve it their own ways, and be their own teacher. Wow, what a great way. I know that's very different from the way that you and I have been taught, but days are changing, times are changing, and the price of gas still keeps going up. But that doesn't change the way kids have to learn. Kids should learn by having fun and working with others and having group discussions about what they're learning and being very, very creative.
I think that's great, Mr. Toad. Too. They get to think about things they already know and build off from that understanding. Especially like in math when we learned about problems-based lessons and how the children use their own mathematical knowledge that they already have and solve new problems and build new knowledge that way. I think it's pretty cool.
I do too. Do you remember when in math class we made that poster and we all worked together?
Oh yeah!
We had the marker tied to the string and we had to work as a team to write it.
I remember that.
That was so much fun and it really was an effective strategy.
We were working together.
Collaboration!
I love collaboration! Woo! Collaboration is really great because you get to, use the strengths of all of your teammates and come up with fantastic ideas.
The middle.
Oh, guys,
Oh my gosh.
I forgot. We're on camera. We gotta act our best here.
Sorry!
It was just a little turtleneck.
Catnip! Turnips are cats. Aww.
Guys, remember that car activity we did? That was really fun. What'd you guys think about it?
I remember our mixture smelled so bad. But that wasn't the point of the project.
Right. I remember recording our data that we were taking, and after we did the activity, we realized if we were to do it again, we could probably improve our scientific method.
Yeah, and we all knew kind of what worked best, but then we tried lots of different ways. Like we all knew that salt would probably help us, and then lemon juice. So we used our prior knowledge to help us.
Yeah, and it had electric lights. And I remember Gatorade had lots of electrolytes. And the only day that I didn't bring Gatorade was the day of the car experiment. I was so bummed out. I really wanted to see how far the car could go and the plane could fly using electrolytes from Gatorade. Is it in you?
Remember how fun that activity was? It was a great way to encourage motivation. We were all so excited to see how far we could get our cars to go. And you know what? I think if we use that with our students in the classroom, oh my gosh, the possibilities.
I agree. And I remember when Mr. Russ took apart the car and then he used his fuel and it went all the way down the hallway. And he worked as a team collaboratively and they really did do great.
Guys, remember the time that, well, I don't know if you guys were in my group, but my group only almost burned down the Cooper building.
I was in that group!
We had so many candles to try to suck all 2 cups of water right into the mayonnaise jar.
I remember that activity.
That was so much fun! But we had to try multiple strategies in order to get those water lifted up.
And even though we didn't get it the first try, using different strategies from different people's opinions worked well because you all have to work together in order to be successful, just like kids in a classroom.
Speaking of classrooms, how's your field placements going, guys?
Oh, it's going terrific. Those lessons and plans that we worked on all semester, when I got to teach those, oh, it was so much fun.
See, I wish that they went a little bit better because I have first grade students and I was really worried about doing problem-based and inquiry with first graders. But I talked to my SBTE and we worked on it, and even though it didn't go perfectly, I still got a good idea. So I really enjoyed being able to try out what we learned in class in the field.
Me too.
What do you think, Mr. Frog or Toad?
Well, my boys and girls loved it. I had an activity where I taught fractions using music notes and how they integrated together, just like my Arts for Children class.
Me too!
And then, that was for my math lesson. For my science lesson, we learned about food chain and how they relate to the animals and what they eat. Again, they worked in small groups and hands-on. They taught one another. If someone needed help, they just turned to the neighbor. And they discussed and they talked about it. Very similar to what we did in the bear activity, the car activity, in different ways too.
Do you remember doing science in a bag? How did your parents like it?
Oh, mine went pretty good. There were a couple parents who didn't like it, but the kids loved it. And it was really a great way to collaborate with the parents and get them involved and to extend the kids' learning outside the classroom. Because, you know, I learn a lot when I'm not in school too.
I agree. I think that if I would have gotten more of my parent letters back, because I only got 2, but if I would have gotten more, I think it would have been good. What I did get was the parents really liked the idea of the extension of the lesson in class, but they didn't really know, like, the topic. But, yeah, I tried.
It takes time, I think. This was the first time we did these things, and someday when we have our own classrooms and we try things out more than one time and see, sometimes things just take a second chance.
Yeah.
Yes, my parents said that they did not know what inquiry learning was, but they really liked it. They liked how the parents and the family members were involved in their child's study and learning. It's a good way to bring the family together and still learn. They had some positives and negatives to tell me, but I'll take the positives and keep teaching that way, and I'll use the negatives to teach better for the future.
Oh, that's a great idea, Mr. Toad.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, what about that field trip? Not too long ago, we were making little boats to represent cartons of eggs going down waterfalls. What'd you guys think?
My egg survived! Because we worked together as a team, me and my other 2 friends, and we used nature and things that would decompose. And then, hey, do you remember when we had to draw the maps?
Oh, I love that part. Oh, we had to think about what maps usually look like when we draw to help the other team to see if they could find the egg we hid.
And then what kind of maps we use for what kind of things? Like, we wouldn't use a globe to find the street we were looking for.
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool. What about you, Mr. Toad? What was your favorite thing we did on a field trip?
Well, I like making the protection egg drop for the waterfall, but I like the egg hunt too. I felt like a pirate looking at a map, finding treasure, but instead of treasure, it was an Easter egg.
I also thought that it was exciting to look at everybody else's children's books, because that is a very good way to show how you integrate 2 different subjects. And we integrated math and science.
Yeah.
Oh yes, but getting back to the treasure hunt, it was very similar to the directions when we teach. If you could read your map really well, it's the same way as reading directions on a test or on homework or any assignment. You have to make sure you read all the details and make sure you know what you're doing. You just can't assume anything or try to go right for the answer. You have to solve it and look back and try different strategies if the first one doesn't work.
Kind of like teaching, like we've been learning all about how we have to reflect and plan ahead, and sometimes things might not work, and that's okay.
Guys, I never realized how much information we really did learn this semester.
I mean, we didn't even talk about standards or Bloom's taxonomy. I mean, we could just go on and on.
I know.
It was definitely a lot of information that we learned this semester. But on a closing note, to end this semester off right, let's all get together and sing one song before we all go to student teaching.
Yay!
Hit it, Queen Bee.